introduction. Folks, thank you for attending the call today. Let me get straight to the meat of the matter. In order to realign your recruiting activities, you really need to embrace a number of fundamental changes taking place in the talent acquisition industry today. New mindsets these changes call for lay the foundation for passive recruitment success. So there are 6 things that I intend to talk to you about today, and these, according to me, are fundamental paradigm shifts that have taken place in the industry. Let's take a look at what the first one is. The first one is career opportunities and not job descriptions is the new mantra. Recruiters today must realize that passive talent is not interested in job descriptions. These guys already have jobs. Often they've got great jobs. They're busy being excellent at what they do, and normally passive talent is never looking for a new job. As a result of the simple fact, everything you do has to be different from what you've been doing with active job seekers. Passive job seekers don't really want a lateral move, but they would likely consider a genuine career opportunity, something that will fundamentally change the trajectory of their career. This slide will probably give you more perspective in terms of what I'm talking about. Careers are a lot like shoes. Preferences differ, but fit and comfort is really important. Don't think this means that it's always got to be about, a really fancy title or a bigger paycheck. That might be the case, but those aren't the only things that motivate career change. Generally, they aren't even at the top of the list of candidates. Enticing opportunities to change the trajectory of a career come in many different forms depending on what the individual values. Developing a clear employee value proposition and engaging top talent in a conversation about intrinsic motivation enables you to find that powerful match. So clearly the message for you here is that developing an EVP, a strong EVP, in terms of how you will make a fundamental shift in the life of candidate has to be brought about and communicated to that candidate. The next one is passive recruiting requires a completely different approach. While traditional recruiting focuses on what a candidate has in terms of education, experience, titles, skills, active talent recruiting focus on what a person will do and what they will have the opportunity to become in the new role. If you are insistent on hiring someone who has already done something in the job description, then you're offering a lateral move, and that's not going to be of interest to someone who's successfully employed elsewhere. The old model of, here's the job description, apply if you're interested and qualified, that's not going to get you very far today with folks who are already successfully and happily employed. It's a simple point, but it's really at the heart of the matter. And a lot of recruiters aren't just approaching things with that mindset. So what's the messaging here? The messaging here is to start building relationships with top talent, even if you don't have a role for them right away, or even if they aren't ready for a move today. Those organizations that build a pipeline for talent for future opportunities are creating something of tremendous value. So pipelining clearly is not a cliche, it's something that's really important, and organizations really need to start working on this effective immediately. The second point, after career opportunities and not job descriptions, is recruitment is marketing. The second key mindset necessary to really excel at passive talent recruiting is an understanding that today's recruiting is a lot like marketing. Great recruiters think about jobs like the way great marketeers think about products. I'll give you a quick example here. Think about how many of you have bought a pair of Nike shoes in the last few years. Then think about how much of that purchase decision was made even before you arrived at that store. For some people, the answer would be 100%. Even before you're going to a shoe store to purchase, you've got this in mind that, I'm going to get myself a pair of Nike shoes. The design might be different, the comfort might be different, the fit might be different, the shape or size might be different, but you're very, very clear that this is going to be Nike and Nike itself. So there, subconsciously, you've already kind of made a decision. You can apply the similar principle in the form of jobs. How can you build your company's talent brand so that you attract the right talent indoors. You know what? How do you make sure that the right talent applies to your company, even though you might not have a right role for them right now? But then you can pipeline that talent and engage that talent to really make sure that you hire them when the need comes in. Another great example here is Apple. People love Apple products, and working at Apple is a dream company simply because of the kind of products they make. So not only is their talent brand strong, but also their corporate brand is strong. Similar case with Harley Davidson. I mean, who would imagine that there couldn't be a better bike, which is a cruiser, than Harley Davidson? So recruiters really have got to make this fundamental shift of transforming their corporate brand into a talent brand that is equally attractive. McKinsey did this interesting research, um, and this study reinforces something that makes a lot of intuitive sense. Today, people want meaningful work. They want their efforts to matter. They want to be a part of something, build something, change something, make a difference to this world. The specifics of that meaning are going to differ a lot from person to person, but the need to matter is pretty universal today. So ultimately, you've got to bring out the messaging to the candidates saying that the work that you're going to be doing is meaningful work, and here's a chance for you to come and change the world. Millennials, or General Y if you prefer, these guys are typically presently, in about their 20s. They are normally described as selfish, entitled, lacking loyalty, drive, and commitment. But that's not entirely true. This normally is a mistaken assessment. What millennials really want today is a flat organization where they aren't trapped under layers of bureaucracy. They want to be measured on results, not when, where, or how they work. They want fast feedback, not clunky annual reviews. So life has changed. I mean, there used to be Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, millennials, baby boomers, different kinds of people. But today, the world of work has changed. People want feedback fast. People want to know, what is the kind of environment they're working in. They want to have meaningful input on what they can do, what they cannot do. They are entirely comfortable with the fact that their careers will take many twists and turns over the years, and they aren't going to stay where they feel underutilized and unprecedented. So really, for millennials, you need to make sure that their work is something that matters. Why is this important? Because millennials will comprise the majority of the workforce by 2015. Understanding millennials is important for three reasons. One, because they constitute a very large portion of the workforce of your employees in the very near future. The most engaged employees today are the ones who are motivated by a sense of pride. They are proud to tell others where they work. They care deeply about the future of the organization. They are inspired by the company leadership and by those who work. Top performers are highly engaged, and engagement is really rooted in their pride. It's about pride in what we do, pride in how we do it, and pride in who we do it with. All this is really kind of saying, where are you taking your talent brand to? And the question is, what really is your talent brand? The third reason why understanding millennials is important is because it focuses you on the meaning of the work your organization does, and that's at the heart of an authentic talent brand. Most companies aren't going to change the world, it's a fact. But getting to the heart of what you stand for is vital to building and projecting a powerful, authentic talent brand which will help you engage, attract, and hire people who share similar values and motivations. The third thing that I wanted to communicate to you is recruiting is very much like sales. Let me elaborate on how. So salespeople don't wait for a product to roll off the assembly line and then go out to try to sell it. They're always selling. Great recruiters aren't similarly, waiting for stuff to happen. They're always recruiting. They aren't waiting for requisitions to open up. They're always attracting or recruiting top talent. They're anticipating the needs of the organization in real time. They're at the table with their business partners, understanding where the business is going and what the talent needs are going to be. They're building a pipeline of top performance for future growth and to mitigate the risk of losing people. If you lost a mission critical employee today, Are you already engaged with the sort of people who can step in and fill those shoes? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Great recruiters sleep very well at night because they know they're well ahead of the plan and they're always prepared for the unexpected. So that kind of proves that great recruiters are always like great sales guys. They are always on the money, right there, with their eyes open, looking for talent, hunting out there, finding who's the guy who can fit in the right role at the right time. So salespeople do four things. One, they actively seek great prospects. Two, they pick up the phone, reach out, engage. Three, they build relationships. And four, challenge people to think differently. Now, if you look at these four things, great recruiters do exactly the same thing. They're always in the corporate talent. Two, they're always on the phone, reaching out, engaging talent, speaking to them, understanding their career goals, objectives, showcasing opportunities available, pipelining talent, getting them on board. And while they're doing this, their focus is to build relationships because if someone doesn't get hired today, sure, well, that guy will get hired sometime in the near future. And even if he doesn't get hired, then of course he or she will give them referrals who will get on board pretty quickly. And lastly, they're always challenging people to think differently. Long gone are the days with those with stereotypes. Today it's all about cross-functional collaboration, moving into roles that you never anticipated in your life, because it's really enjoying what you do and discovering your key strengths. The sales teams measure lots of things, but they manage on the few measures that move the business forward. So they generally manage on a few core metrics that are essential to ongoing success. And let me talk a little bit about the sales funnel here. This is what the sales funnel looks like. For fresh opportunities go on top of the funnel and progress toward an eventual